Hey guys, it's Emmanuel here, the Enthusiastic Coder, and yes, this is a very special video because I only do this once a year, if I even remember to. But before we start the video, I just want to mention two things. First of all, thank you to everyone who has been supporting me and watching my videos through the thick and thin, and yeah, thank you. It's really just cool, and it's really nice that people actually care about the things that I do. And secondly, I find it very interesting that the amount of skills that I've learned in these 4 years, and not just coding, right, but in like videography, my editing skills, my thumbnail making skills. So yeah, that's just very cool how much I've learned in the past 4 years. So I have 10 questions because it's a Q&A, of course, as you read in the title, and it's brought to you by the wonderful ChatGPT, because I don't think I really have enough subscribers to ask you guys like, hey, can you please ask me questions, because probably one or two people will ask the questions. So I did ask AI, and AI did extremely well. So here's my opinion. I'll try to be extremely brief because I know I can talk on one question for the next 10 minutes. Question: what inspired you to start the Enthusiastic Coder channel 4 years ago? So it's mainly three things. First of all, I've always liked coding, always enjoyed coding, and I really wanted like a way to be able to show my passion for coding to the whole world, right? So like, my very first video was a microbit, like, those little things. Hopefully it's on the screen. And yeah, I found how to code it, and people were quite amazed, so I wanted to show the whole world if they're interested in that. The second part is like, I felt like even before I started the channel, I knew that it's like a good time capsule in a way, and I thought that it would be cool to look back at it many years later, right, to see how far I've come, in my knowledge and stuff, and what I've done. And thirdly, my auntie actually saw my skills and was like quite interested, right? And I was like, that's quite cool, let me show it to her, and I felt like the YouTube channel was a good way to show it to her because she does not live anywhere near where I live, different continent, right? And YouTube is a good way for other people to see your content, right? Question number 2: which of your projects or videos are you most proud of and why? Okay, that's a good question. I thought between two things. First of all, my smart alarm clock, which I've been making for over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And the other one, which is a game, which is Fine Feel HD, which you all probably know a lot of. But I think I'll choose the Fine Feel HD because that's a game that I've actually done and I finished. And it's like there, not in the sense that it's a full-blown game, because I have just made the demo, and I probably will stay like that, sorry. But I was really proud at how I spent a year and a half making a game, right? Even if it's just a demo, but the amount of effort that I put into it, right? It was really, really hectic, and sometimes, a lot of the times, code would not work, and I felt like giving up. But I was like, just carry on, months and months debugging, right? And trying to get all the art assets and then coding and like the breaks in between work and other stuff where it was just on a standstill, and being able to see my work finished, right? Something that I thoroughly enjoyed, and yeah, that was just really cool. That's why I'm most proud of this. And also, there's like a cool like install wizard too, so I was like, that's a proper game. Question number 3. Okay, so what has been the most challenging part of running this channel? Okay, thank you ChatGPT, that's a great question. So I really think the hardest part of a kind of channel like this, one that makes coding videos and technology videos, making stuff, I feel like it's less on the actual production of it in the sense of video editing, getting all the resources to film. I think it's more of the research and the R&D and like the actual beforehand, right? The input, and not just like the processing of the stuff. I really feel like, let's just say I had a video, right, where I make, I don't know, a toy car, right? I feel like the hardest part is coding the toy car, making the toy car, building it, getting what resources and stuff, getting everything to actually make it. I feel like that's harder than the filming and stuff. So that is the most challenging part of running the channel, because some projects, I always like making ambitious videos. I don't like doing simple things, right? And they can take months and months, because this is like a side project, right? Well, a side thing that I do. So that definitely is the most challenging part about my YouTube channel. What coding languages or tech do you want to master next? That's question 4. Okay, so I think it would be Python, but like specifically in terms of AI, right? And I've learned a whole lot of coding languages, right? Well, not a lot, but I'm currently learning Java in school. I've learned Python as my very first coding language when I was 10, right? When I mean learned, I don't mean like I've mastered it. I mean, I'm just able to make if statements come together and like print something in the command prompt. That's what I mean by learned. I don't think I've mastered it yet, but I would like to. And I would like to master Python and know how to make Python in the form of like AI, learning with like machine learning and language models, because AI is everywhere, right? AI is something you can't just look away from. It's in our world and it's very helpful, and I feel like being able to learn how to use it with Python, which is like an essential language that many models are built off of, right? I feel like it is quite useful. AI is like right here helping me with questions, and I just am interested in people who make AIs. Question 5. Can you share a funny or unexpected moment from making one of your videos? Okay, I know exactly what comes to mind. So I made a video a while ago. When I mean a while, I mean I think 2 years ago or something. Basically, let me give you like some exposition. So my friend and I we're very close friends, and we're next door neighbors, right? And we thought we can make a cool letter system. So kind of like a post box, right? Where we'd send each other letters. She made hers out of sticks, right? Kind of like a den, so where you could just put letters and stuff. And I decided, because I have this cool YouTube channel where I make stuff, right? I would make mine, out of, I don't know, materials. But I didn't make mine out of plastic, didn't make mine out of wood, didn't even make mine out of steel or whatever material. I decided to make mine out of cardboard, right? And in that video, like a segment at the end, I decided to test if it's waterproof or not, right? And when you look back at it now, you're like, Emmanuel, why in the world would you test if cardboard is waterproof? Of course it's not waterproof, right? But what I did was I took sheets of like, rubbish bags which are waterproof, and I cut them up and I kind of like hot glued it and stapled it to the thing, thinking that it would work. And I mean, it did work quite well. So I tested different levels, right? Like sprinkles of water, right? A little bit of water, kind of simulate like drizzle and rain and stuff. So then I had like a 3rd level, which was the final level. And short story short, it was terrible. The reason why, obviously, it got ruined because it's cardboard. But the reason why it got ruined was because even though I'd stapled and hot glued it together, there were still seams. And that's just the thing about, just adding a thin layer of something and it not actually being waterproof from the beginning. It's not going to really be thoroughly waterproof. It's at best going to be water resistant. So I found it quite funny, because I felt like, those YouTubers, and they were like making like clickbaity videos, right? So I feel like if I made that video now, I would make an extremely clickbaity thumbnail, like I do nowadays. But yeah, I found it funny. I learned something new about waterproofing, and it was overall a fun project. Question 6. This is so much fun, guys. I'm sorry, I'm actually enjoying this so much. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who wants to start coding or game development? Okay, 2 words. No, 3 words. It takes time. It really does. You can be a senior level game developer, coder at Microsoft, or you can just be starting out, or you could be like me, right? Someone more in the middle of like a beginner or whatever, and you can always still be learning, right? Because it takes time, right? You'll always be learning new things, and just don't be discouraged, right? When you make your first program, print hello world, and you feel like you can code anything, and then the next thing you want to code, there's 100 errors or whatever, just continue doing it. Keep on trying, right? It does take time, it does take effort, you will get frustrated, you would be like, I regret my life choices right now. But I feel like that's part of the reward in it, and I feel like people who are extremely motivated will excel in this. yeah, because coding is extremely rewarding, and game development is basically also it is coding. It's just with the added element of sound and music and sound design and stuff. So yeah, it takes time. Question 7. If you could collaborate with any other YouTuber or coder, who would it be? Okay, so I have two favorite YouTubers, or two YouTubers I'd love to collaborate with. I know I said one, but I mean, it's ChatGPT, I can do what I want, right? Okay, but the first person is Thin Matrix, right? I love this guy so much because he's so inspiring, right? He's been making a game called Homegrown. It's a casual farming game, right? He's so cool, right? Because he's not making a game in a game engine like Unity or Godot, right? Or Game Maker. He's using his own game engine, right? In Java, right? Lightweight Java game engine, I think. And it's an added layer of difficulty. Obviously, there's many benefits, but there's the zeal that he has, right? To be able to work on something that's commercial, of course, right? And work at it so hard. It's just something that I'm inspired by, and I like to collaborate with him because I don't know what we would do because I'm not at that level, but he just inspires me, and I think that is extremely cool. Secondly, there's this guy's name's Thomas Stewart. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was right. Yeah, Thomas Stewart. So basically, this guy is very cool because he took the risk, just like many other game developers, of starting his own game company, right? As an indie developer, taking the risk of doing it with his whole family, right? And it's very cool because in the span of I think 2 years, he's already released 2 games and is making a third one, right? Which is that's really cool. That's a cool goal to make, to be able to release that many games. And it's not like they're bad. They're not bad at all. They're extremely good, right? So you could see it's quantity over quality, but the quality is so good that it's like there's not a difference like that. So it's very cool how he's able to just make so many games, and they're all so good. Something that I'm quite inspired by myself. Question 8. How do you come up with ideas for your projects and videos? So basically, I just look at what someone else has done because I watch many people that code, many people that make games, that build stuff, as I just mentioned 2 of them, right, that code. And I just see what they do. I don't copy them. I try to not copy because that's just not original, and like, who wants to watch a duplicate of a video, right? But yeah, I'm like, hey, this person made something cool. How can I ramp it up to 11 in my own way, right? Or I think that's quite cool. Something that I saw outside, let me do that. Or it might just be I'm just doing normal life, and this idea pops up and I want to do it. Like, I'll give you an example of my smart alarm clock, which might be hinting to another video actually, but it's fun since you've been watching this long. So the way I thought, the thought that popped into my mind to make the smart alarm clock was when I was on this excursion, like an outdoor kind of thing, at my school. It's called Fussbait, and we're walking up this hill, one of the many mountains and hills that we had to climb out, and I just got this vision of a really cool alarm clock that was extremely smart, and it was like, it had a screen and stuff. So yeah, that's just how I thought of a video of me doing a series on that. Did I make a series on it? No, but the vision was still there. So yeah, that is my creative process. Other simpler videos, I just kind of Google online. Question 9. What tools, hardware or software do you absolutely rely on? Okay, so hardware, my laptop. I use that when I'm not near my PC, and when I'm not near my laptop, I use my PC. They're both very essential to coding because you can code on your phone, but just don't code on your phone. So yeah, I use it for my coding, I use it for my research, I use it for my everything, right? I use my PC for my editing because my laptop would probably die on itself if I had to do that. The tools that I use, I use my soldering iron when I need to solder. Try not to solder, because I do not like soldering. I have my electronics, like my Arduinos, my Raspberry Pis, you know, other components, motors, you know, the basic stuff, batteries, and software. I use Clipchamp for editing. I know it's not like Adobe Photoshop or whatever, but yeah, that's what I use. It's very reliable. I use GameMaker as my primary game engine. Hopefully can they sponsor me, please. I also use Arduino IDE for when I'm coding, or I use Thonny when I'm using the Raspberry Pis and stuff. I also use books for research and YouTube, so primarily those two. Question 10, where do you see the Enthusiastic Coder channel in the next 4 years? Okay, so 8 years, that's quite cool. So I think I see myself going into two paths with this channel, either two paths. The first path, because you know, in 4 years time I'll be 21, because I'm 17 now. I think I can disclose that, right? But I see myself either starting my own technology business, like the likes of Apple and Microsoft, right, you know, and I see myself starting a business and not having little to no time for this channel, right? Because I'm busy running this business, right? The other path, I see myself being an indie game developer, right? And that means I'll be spending more time than I've ever spent on this channel, because I'll be making games as an indie, right? And I'd already have this channel as a kind of like good foundation. And that's the entire video. You know, I just want to reiterate again that it's so amazing being able to post videos onto a channel on a topic that I thoroughly enjoy, right? Coding has been part of my life, and I feel like without this YouTube channel, I may have not been liking coding as much as I do now, right? And I don't even know if I would have still done coding, right? So thank you so much to everyone that watches this YouTube channel, because you guys rock and are extremely cool. So yeah, if you like the video, please like and subscribe if you want to, and remember, have a good day.